For decades, the tragedy of Heather Orr moved through Hollywood like a quiet warning. People whispered about it, but no one wanted to dig deeper. And now Ron Howard has finally broken his silence in a way that brings everything back into the light. His words are gentle but sharp, and they raise painful questions about how a 12-year-old girl rose so fast, shined so brightly, and then was gone before the world even understood what happened. The girl Hollywood never protected. Before she became Caroline Freeling, the child whose voice scared an entire generation, Heather was simply a little girl in San Diego. Born on December 27, 1975, into a family that struggled with money but never with love. And after her parents divorced, she lived with her mother and sister in a trailer park in Anaheim with no dream of fame at all. Everything changed when Steven Spielberg spotted her on the MGM lot while Tammy was filming Pennies from Heaven. He saw something special in the quiet blonde child and hired her for Poltergeist after hearing her scream with real fear during the audition, and by 1982 she became an overnight star, appearing in commercials, TV shows, and joining Happy Days while trying to stay a normal kid at school, where she even became class president. As her career grew, the pressure around her increased in ways no child should carry. Hollywood in the 80s did not protect young actors, and Heather worked long, demanding hours that drained her, even though she stayed cheerful because she never wanted to disappoint anyone. Her family depended on her income, and she pushed through pain and exhaustion to help them survive. In 1986, she began showing signs that something was wrong. Stomach pain, low energy, swelling from cortisone after doctors wrongly assumed she had Crohn's disease. Yet she kept working and rarely complained, even though people on set noticed she looked pale and tired. These were early warnings, but the industry kept moving forward. By late 1987, her symptoms grew worse. Her cheeks were swollen, her energy fading, and her stomach pain returning. Doctors still said it was Crohn's and sent her home with heavy medication. But at home, her mother saw the truth. Heather was slipping. On January 31, 1988, she began vomiting non-stop, and by the next morning, she collapsed as her fingers turned blue. Paramedics revived her once, but surgeons soon discovered the real cause: a congenital blockage in her intestines that had ruptured and caused massive infection. And on February 1, 1988, she passed away at only 12 years old, leaving Hollywood stunned and a family shattered. Kathleen Orr refused to stay silent and filed a wrongful death lawsuit claiming doctors had missed what the X-rays should have shown. Experts agreed that her condition should have been caught earlier, and the public struggled to accept how a child who seemed healthy could die from something that had gone unnoticed for years. At the same time, Poltergeist 3 faced backlash since the film was released just 4 months after her death, and the studio tried to avoid looking like they were exploiting the tragedy, while her family tried to understand how everything had gone so wrong so quickly. Then Ron Howard spoke, and his words cut deeper than any headline. He said she was overworked, that too many expectations were placed on her, and that he thinks about her often. And coming from someone who lived the life of a child star himself, his message hit hard. He did not blame anyone directly, but he showed the painful truth. Heather was pushed beyond what her small body could handle. His comments forced people to ask whether her death was only a medical tragedy or the result of a system that failed a 12-year-old girl who kept showing up even while she was falling apart. Heather's story remains one of Hollywood's most heartbreaking reminders that talent is not protection, love is not enough, and children cannot be expected to carry the weight of an adult world, especially when no one listens to their pain. Her death was preventable. Her symptoms were missed. And the system around her moved too fast to see the danger she was in. And today her story continues to be a warning that these tragedies will not stop unless Hollywood finally learns to protect its youngest stars. Share your thoughts below and tell us whether you believe Heather was pushed too hard or whether this tragedy could have been avoided. And before you go, make sure you subscribe to Hollywood Bulletin and press the bell icon so you'd never miss our next deep dive.